Alright guys, welcome back. Survival Living here. So, the new big news, the new news is that there is predictions of war with China 2025. I get asked all the time here on the channel, when is everything going to start? Well, is this the date it starts? Let's talk about it. Okay guys, so before we get into this, and we will be discussing this, I need to cover some things here on the channel. We put out some posts a couple of days ago. I am going back into the workforce. I'm a certified welder by trade, and currently what we're experiencing here on our channel, due to this platform, I can't do it full-time anymore. So the channel is still going to remain here. I am still going to be producing videos when I get off work, just like this evening, and try to get some information to you and to encourage you on preparedness. The fact is, though, we can only get about 1,000 to 1,700 views of our viewer base when I release a video. That's because the platform has went in and either unsubscribed people, so we've had a lot of people come up and say, hey, I've been unsubscribed, and or the notification bell has been magically took off. Well, unfortunately, we had over 56,000 viewers here on this channel, members, subscribers, our community, and it's all I can do now just to reach 1,700. So with that being said, I am going back into the workforce. This is one of the things I talk about. Shit hits the fan preparedness, SHTF preparedness. It's more than just stacking food. Learn a trade. I've been welding for over 20 years. It's a trade I've had to go back to many times. Was YouTube great as far as full-time? I've never worked so many hours in my life. You won't believe how, I mean, oh my goodness, I'm up to like 4 o'clock in the morning. So, with the emails and stuff, guys, don't be surprised if I'm not in the comment section as much. And it might take me a few days to get an email back to you. It's because I will have to get some rest after filming a video when I come home and going back to work in the mornings. So, let's get into this video. Now with this, guys, we're going to go ahead and have some pop-ups here for you. U.S. Air Force General Mike Minahan, Commander of Air Force Mobility Command. Pentagon distanced itself from Minahan memo suggesting possible war with China 2025. Now, this 4-star general came out with the internal paperwork. There should be some pop-up here for you guys. Let's go ahead and I'm going to scroll on my end so I can actually read it directly for you. This is an internal memo he's writing to the people under him. Subject, February 2023, orders in preparation for the next fight. Number 1, situation, I hope I'm wrong. My gut tells me we'll be fighting in 2025. Xi secured 3rd term and set his war council in October 2022. Taiwan presidential elects are in 2024. Basically, it should be a pop there for you. He's taking a look at all the political structures as far as Xi regaining power again, Taiwan elections, United States election 2024, and the constant turmoil our country here in America has every time there is a political change as far as elections. And he's projecting that this time around, everything's going to pop off because of the confusion, the constant fighting between each other, and that's when China's going to strike. Now, I don't put dates on anything, not when it comes to this. I prepare so that when things happen, we're ready for it. Everybody asks me for a date. Even this date, 2025, does that mean it's going to happen? I don't know. This is a suggestion. This is the guy's prediction on his end. That's it. There's no actual intel that anything's happening. This is a projection due to political struggles, and that's what they're basing everything off of. Is it feasible? Yes. Yes, of course it is. As preppers, we look at unrest, foreign parties invading, attacks during a election period because of, look how people react over their Starbucks was wrong. For you, the viewers here, our community, don't let this fuel you or terrify you. Keep prepping like you normally do. What we've shown here on this channel so many times. Every week, do a grocery haul, a prep run. Add more to your stock. Put a rotational stock out. All right, get you up to 2 years supply of food. Guys, just depends on where this war goes. If this war comes to American soil, you're going to need a lot more than just cans of food to protect you and your family. All right, that's where the defensive tools comes in. You know, your bang bangs with your freedom seeds. But I want to encourage you, and please hear me out on this. Don't rely on just owning a firearm and 1,000 rounds. Please be training. Please be training. I want to direct you to a good friend of mine, Bug Up Bushido. Bug Up Bushido opened up his doors to me when I was down in Fort Myers doing hurricane aid. He works with his group. They run airsoft training before people start snickering and stuff like that. They're working on their training of tactics, moving as a group, taking over buildings, hard targets. That's what people need to be working on. Especially the people that are beating their chests, got body armor in one hand and their AR in the other, screaming, "I'm ready for war." If you're not training, you're not ready for shit. That's it. So, if you guys have not been over to my buddy Bug Up Bushido's channel, please definitely go check that out. You gotta be ready. But let's say everything stays off American soil. It's a possibility. We're game planning. We're war planning right here, guys. As a prepper, you need to be looking at many different aspects of this. If this stays over there, we're going to see rationing and stuff like that, because we already got the upbeat in the conflict with Russia, Ukraine, U.S. sending tanks, Germany sending tanks, Russia's red line in the sand. That stuff is a powder keg, and it is fixing to really blow up. I mean, yeah, it's already active, but it's fixing to get even worse. Now throw China in the mix. You have WW3. Let's say that our country here in America does not take a direct hit as far as a kinetic. Let's just say it goes like World War II. Expect rationing. Expect a lot of manufacturers to be joining the wartime effort, even though we don't have many manufacturing companies here in America anymore. Most of our goods are brought in from overseas, imported in. This stuff stops. Our supply chain stops. We deal with these countries. We get all kind of resources from these countries. Have supplies put back. Work on it. Let's just say it's 2025. That gives you two years to get stocked up. Me personally, I believe you need to be already stocked up. But let's say that you were late on the boat, or financially, it's been tough. $5 a week. All right. If you're a smoker, hey, I'm a smoker. You're not ready to give up cigarettes just yet? Switch your brands. Get a cheaper brand. That extra money that you have there, put that towards preps. $5 a week still buys several cans of food. I've spoken on that many of times. You can buy green beans, candy green beans for 79 cents at Walmart. That's 5 cans that you can put back each week. It adds up. It adds up quick. Having food and supplies put back for your family is most important. Medical supplies. If you have pets, supplies for them as well. You need to be prepared to take care of your family when everything stops. And it will. We've seen what I call the dry runs. Trucker convoys, strikes. The barges overloaded at the ports. We're seeing dry runs and the hiccups in our delivery systems. It doesn't take much. Those are just hiccups. Imagine a major conflict. Imagine how all that stuff stops. Yeah. You prepared for that? If you are, how long are you prepared for that? Because if this is a major conflict, it's not going to be over in a couple weeks. It's not going to be over in a couple months. This is something that's going to happen for years. I would encourage you to research the history of our past wars and see the impact it has had on our country here. Now make your bases on your preps accordingly off of that. Now, if you are only preparing for global conflict, I recommend you preparing for much more than that. But thankfully, If you're preparing for global conflict, most of your preps work hand in hand for other SHTF events. Natural disasters, grid down due to cyber hacking or substation attacks. Most of your preps will work hand in hand on these. So you really don't have to do anything much different. All right. A global conflict is going to be a very long-lasting shit hits the fan. It will be. Expect, besides food shortages, power grid failure, natural gas, fuel for your vehicle failure, rationing, power. Yeah, that'll be rationed out too. Electricity for your home, that will be rationed too. Water. All these things will be rationed. Do I encourage you to store as much water as possible? Yes, I do. But I also encourage you to have some very good water filters and know your water sources nearby. Simplest, easiest way I can ever explain this to you is pull up your Google map on your phone. Find your location, zoom out. Give yourself a good 2 to 5 mile radius of your home. Look for a body of water. All right, now that you have that targeted in, I want you to visit there. See what's around it, see the access to it, and check the conditions of those waters. You may have found you a water source. Now, during SHTF, there's going to be a lot of people going to those same water sources, but now you know where you can and cannot go. Make plans. All right, guys. So please, keep prepping. Don't stop. When I see headlines, 2025, war to China, those are suggestions, those are precautions. That's not written in stone. We as preppers, we look at it, we analyze it. Okay, yeah, it does make a lot of sense, but I'm prepping as if tomorrow something's going to happen. And that's what we should do. We don't prep because we have a deadline. This is going to happen here. That's not real prepping. That's panic buying, and that's rushing to try to fix a problem that may happen. We know something is going to happen. Every day we work on it. Every week we work on it. And that's what prepping is. This is where people get burnt out with prepping. They will see news and information and freak out. They'll go drop hundreds and even thousands of dollars on supplies, and then nothing happened. Then they get bitter. If this is your lifestyle, like it is ours here at the house, we don't get burnt out in it. Now, I might get tired having to rotate so much food out, but I take comfort in knowing my family's got a lot of food. I take comfort in knowing my group is well fed and prepared. I know that if something major comes our way, we can assess the danger and act accordingly. Do we stay? Do we move? Do we have a place to move to? How are we going to get there? What route's best? What happens if those routes are compromised? These are the things you need to work on. All right, guys, definitely appreciate you hanging out with me. Like I said, I won't be here as much, but I will still be able to bring you news and information, try to get you prepared as much as possible, and thankfully, prepping is not hard. All you have to do is get that fire lit underneath your rear end from time to time and go right back at it. All right, guys, speak to you later.